Much has been reported and made about Blackwell, a delay or no delay. I guess the starting point is to ask you, Arthur, if this was a surprise to you, that you were able to adjust or pivot and then ship next month unexpectedly.
No, not unexpected at all. We've been working on this very, very hard. If you think about, the innovation that we've been delivering, from, the start of the 9680 to, what we announced at Dell Technologies World from, rack scale infrastructure, we talked about the fact that the Grace Blackwell product was, on the roadmap and, would be hitting for customer testing in the second half of this year with general availability coming next year. So we're just following through on the commitment that we made back at the beginning of this year.
So the last 3 months of the year, calendar year, are going to look a lot better for Dell now, aren't they?
Yeah, we have some really exciting products. Customers are facing density and power constraints in terms of these large, rack infrastructure. And so we have three, significant product announcements that we had today at OCP. Number one is the XE9712, which is the, Grace Blackwell 72 NVL Inc. Form factor. This product, air-cooled, is 25 times more efficient than the H100s. But in addition to that, we're bringing density to compute. We also announced a Turin-based AMD system, all direct to chip liquid cooled, that does two amazing things. Number one, it solves a density problem by providing 27,000 cores per rack. And secondly, it's highly performant, up to 60 times faster than the previous generation.
The industry-wide, are not making margin on this. Are you going to make margin on this? And if so, how?
Yeah, so I think, we showed that we were able to make margin in Q2, achieving 11% operating income for the overall ISG business. Our job is to remove the shroud of complexity and mystery around generative AI and deliver value to customers. And we will be rewarded for that value in the Tier 2 CSP space, as well as in the enterprise space, where we have even more opportunity to attach more of our service and storage offerings and networking offerings.
It was interesting what you were talking about there on the air cooling side. Everyone keeps asking me about liquid cooling. What is the Dell position on liquid cooling? Because with Blackwell, right, you were sampling the technology before you shipped it. And you must have thought a little bit about a pivot to liquid cooling, perhaps.
We've been talking about liquid cooling since the beginning. We have air cooling, liquid assisted cooling, rear door heat exchangers, heat capture cabinets, and direct to chip liquid cooling. Once you get into the 1,000 watt TDP range, this is where direct to chip liquid cooling is absolutely mandatory. But we have a wide variety of offerings that span the air cooling, the liquid assisted air cooling, the heat capture cabinet, the rear door heat exchangers, as well as the direct to chip liquid cooling. Not all environments are ready to support liquid cooling, but our portfolio is comprehensive and broad and supports all of the requirements that customers have to deliver the most dense and energy efficient infrastructure in the market.
Arthur, before we let you go, give us insight into the reality of Blackwell volumes. This is small, right? Or is there some actual scale here to production?
Look, our volumes is contemplated in the guidance that we provided at the end of Q2. If we have any update to that guidance, we'll update that in Q3. But, we're very excited about the amount of innovation that's being driven in this space. If you think about, where we were at the beginning of the year, we were talking about rack infrastructure with 64 and 72 GPUs. Now we're up to 96 and 128 GPUs, and we're talking about scalable systems. I mean, think about this, Ed, 768 GPUs interwoven to operate as one system with integrated networking for maximum throughput. It's just amazing what we're seeing.